station with Yulia and explains that he needs the Shilk to be able to return to his planet, so Yulia decides to use her dad for help. When they arrive at the military base, the guard doesn't let her pass because Valentine's busy, so Yulia lies and says she's pregnant. When the message gets to Valentine, he immediately drops his work to meet her, and he thinks Hakan may be the father. Yulia plays with the lie to get closer to her dad, comforting him with a hug to steal his access card. Then she gives it to Hakan, and while Yulia distracts Valentine with an argument about her pregnancy, Hakan goes to look for the Shilk. After stealing some scientist's clothes to disguise himself, Hakan sneaks into the laboratory where they're analyzing the shield-like object, and with just one touch, he manages to open it and retrieve the Shilk. By the time the scientists finally realize that hadn't been Valentine and trigger the alarm, Hakan has ditched the costume and is already reuniting with Yulia at the parking lot, where Valentine orders a soldier to drive them home. Meanwhile, Tayoma is released from jail and meets with his friend to start organizing a riot. They reinforce their car, make a bunch of fire balloons, and fill the trunk with baseball bats. Tayoma calls Yulia to apologize for his outburst at the station and asks her to join them, but Yulia turns him down. At Yulia's home, Hakan explains he needs to take the Shilk to the ship, but Yulia points out they'll have to wait until midnight to avoid the guards. Hakan meets Yulia's dog and uses the Shilk to heal the pet's sick eyes, explaining his technology is so good that his race has almost achieved immortality. Lubov finds them together in the room and thinks Hakan is pretty weird, so Yulia pretends he's just a foreign friend. Afterward they have dinner together and Hakan copies everything Yulia does, thus she takes the chance to trick him into eating something spicy, which he hates. They also watch the news on TV and discover that, thanks to the security cameras, the military has put Hakan's face out as a wanted man. When Lubov enters the kitchen, Yulia has to cover the TV to hide the truth and lets her grandmother think Hakan is her boyfriend. At that moment, Valentine arrives at the area with a whole military convoy, so Lubov distracts him while Yulia and Hakan run away. They go to see Gleb, who is watching a viral video made by Tayoma and his gang. It spreads the message that the aliens and the military suck and that the civilians should take back what belongs to them. Hakan